What's going on, guys? Thanks for hanging out. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and get started a couple minutes early. So today I'm going over a song that's very special to me. I'm going over the song that kind of changed everything for us and really started making a lot more people pay attention to us. And behind the scenes, this song really this was the song that I really stepped out of my comfort zone when I wrote. And you know, Allison and Dave, our producer, and the rest of the guys had a lot to do with this song. But this song really helped me step out of my comfort zone when writing, and it kind of opened my eyes to different song arrangements, and it's a really special song to me. What's up? Hope everybody's doing well. So yeah, today we're going to be taking a look at Rapture. So here we go. So we'll go ahead and start from the beginning. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have already heard this song, but what we'll do is we'll just kind of do what we did with the last one. We'll start from the beginning, and let me know if everything sounds good when I hit play. And then we'll just kind of break it down section by section and instrument by instrument, and I'll kind of just go through what each instrument is doing and how each instrument is interacting with one another. That's one thing to really pay attention to, is listen to each individual instrument, but also pay attention to how it interacts with the other things going on in the song, and how it all comes together and makes the song sound good on its own. So just give me a yes or a no, okay, maybe, if this sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and just play it from the get-go.
I'd find a way to ruin
Okay. So, hope that sounded okay for everybody. No, we're not doing a remix tonight. We're doing a song breakdown. So I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna give you guys an exclusive look into kind of how this song came about. And basically, we took this song to Dave, our producer, and the only thing it had was it had some synth that I had programmed. It had like very basic guitars, and like it had like one guitar track. It was just like I just played a bunch of shit from start to finish, and then like some shitty drums that I programmed. So I programmed most of that from the get-go, and you see this FX stem right here. Keep in mind these are all mixed stems from our producer Dave, and to get some of these sounds I had to program like 5 or 6 different things and blend them all together. So like what you just heard is I think 4, 5, or 6 different arrangements blended together. Like you can hear the little pluck, the thing that kind of sounds like Japanese or whatever. And then in the background you hear like the oh, like that kind of stuff. That's all programmed. There are actual like there's an actual choir in the bridge that we'll get to that actually Allison sang, and there's like 10 Allisons all singing together, and that's how we got that. And then like yeah, I basically like I wrote this riff, and Allison and everybody liked it. Bass with that. See the guitar, that's 4 guitar tones together. Like I played it like I played it a bunch, and we took the 4 best ones. That's 2 different amps. So 4 takes total all blended together, and that's why the guitars just sounded really big. And then with the bass, and then that's the main riff of the song, and it just comes in swinging, like kick you in the dick straight off the bat, and without all the effects and like the synth and stuff. It's just and I mean that's cool, but once you add like all the programming and stuff, it just kind of elevates it to the next level. And we're gonna mute the vocals for now. And then it's basically, it goes and it's the same riff, it's just the guitar and drums with the vocals, and so that's like the intro. And then we go into verse 1, and it's you see this is a stereo track. There's only guitars on one side, and they're like a lo-fi effect on the drums and the guitar. It's the same riff as the intro, just like a lo-fi effect, and it's only on one side, and then it comes in, and it's like the same riff, just the main riff over and over and over again. so the kind of the thing that ties this song together, if I can find a pick, hold on. Let me find a pick and I'll kind of show you guys. I'm sorry, I'm disorganized here. So, just real quick, I'm really big on writing parts of songs and having the different parts of the song tie together. So the thing to me that ties this song together is the end, and this isn't plugged up, but the end of that main riff. That right there. You hear that? That. That. And then it goes into this next part. That's one that if I can play it smoothly. There's that. That is a repetitive theme throughout the song. That exact phrase is used in multiple different parts of the song, in the guitar and the bass, and that kind of brings everything back to like the central theme or motif, whatever you would call it. And then it goes into this next. And you hear, I'll play it again. You hear that really weird thing, that, and that's like right here on the guitar. That's how you get that effect, and then it's got a bunch of reverb and stuff thrown on it, so it's like, yeah, and that's pretty cool. And then, excuse me, so that bridge, that exact like picking pattern, or that central theme right there that ties that verse and then the next part together, that, oop, I can't see, that is basically part of the bridge as well. So you kind of see how when I wrote this song, I wanted it to reference itself time and time again. And throughout the Rapture EP, there are things like, there's fills that Rocky plays, there's things that I do in the guitar that reference other songs in the Rapture EP, because when we wrote the Rapture EP, and it wasn't even a conscious decision, but we were telling a story, and this thing came out in 2019, and literally the next year, we had no idea there was going to be a pandemic or anything, but it's almost like we wrote as a fictionalized story about a Rapture type post-apocalyptic situation, and then the next year it fucking happened. So yeah, so that was really crazy. But yeah, then so it goes from that verse part. And there's nothing, and you see those effects, like, let's bring those back in. I'm gonna turn those up, and you can kind of see how much they add. Like, that riff is heavy as shit by itself, but when you add this other stuff in that we programmed, goes into the chorus, and the chorus hits really hard. I'm just gonna I'm taking the vocals out of everything for now, but and then, like we talked about earlier, there's this riff is played before and after the first chorus, and it also permutates, I guess is the musical term, in the bridge as a very similar form of itself. So yeah, and then so you kind of have that really heavy part that kind of sounds like, you know, the world is ending almost. I mean, that's kind of what I like. I played that so hard, guys. Like when I was tracking this song, I remember I was like playing that so hard because I wanted it to sound like the fucking world was ending. And you just add the bass and the drums. Plays the main riff again, as you've heard, and then it goes into now normally Roses Unread would put a second chorus right here, but instead we wrote this song with only 2 choruses, and there's like a bridge breakdown. I guess you could say this is the bridge part, and then it leads into the break. Rocky plays a really cool like drum fill in there. Rocky, for those of you guys that don't know, Rocky was in like marching band in school, and so he's really good at like rolls and that kind of stuff. And he played, this is kind of like a cadence marching rhythm type of thing. I'm just gonna listen to the drums by themselves because I really like this. And then it goes into, you guys remember this part a while ago? You can hear, I don't know if you guys can hear that little squeak on the end. That's me, that's like just like some string noise or whatever. You don't hear it in the whole mix, but so yeah, here's the breakdown without the like the choir and everything behind it. Dave programmed this really cool like kind of electronic thing. This electronic thing.
What did it do?
Nothing. On top of that, you have the choir of Allison's. Goes into the last chorus. So Another cool thing that I forgot to mention is there's a ton of vocal harmonies, which we'll go over, but Dave put these really cool lead guitar octave parts in here. Dave played all these. Yeah, and so Dave played that. Yeah, Dave came up with that, and like, you don't ever notice it when you're just listening to the song, but it really just kind of, it moves the song. It almost does, like, if the song's kind of driving, it's like almost making the car kind of like make it kind of like not cruise, but like it almost, to me, it's almost like when you add little things like that, it's like you're driving the car, and you can drive the car in cruise control, and you can just go the same speed. But something like this, and let me bring this up and the effects up, and it just, almost like you're just like pushing on the gas, or you're giving it just like a little boost every now and then, and it just kind of it's really cool. It's just really cool ear candy. So there you have it, from start to finish. And what I'd like to do next is kind of break down these vocal arrangements that they did. These are really cool. Allison really stepped outside of her comfort zone on this, and she and Dave came up with some really cool vocal melodies and harmonies and arrangements.
I wish I could start over. Like a canvas. I'd paint a pretty picture. I'd find a way to ruin all the beauty captured. Waiting for my sentence, waiting for the rapture. Nothing good will come, 'cause our poison word is pure. Just a nobody who will never find a cure. I can't reason with myself. I'll never make it back. The past is in the rear view. I'm always losing track. Where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go from here? You always love to show me. How will you think you know me? I've lost all my patience and forgotten laughter, serving out my sentence, waiting for the rapture. Nothing good will come, 'cause our poison word is pure. Just a nobody who will never find a cure.
And then it goes into that bridge. That's the giant choir of Allison.
I can't reason with myself.
So yeah, that's this song right here kind of started us in a new direction, and this song started getting us noticed by more people. This was a song that proved that we can kind of hang with them, you know. And we made a conscious decision to not do any screaming on this album. And the reason for that is because, number one, I just got tired of doing it. I got tired of screaming. I never thought I was that great at it, and I wanted to focus on being a good guitar player and a good performer, and I always felt like screaming kind of held me back from doing that. It took away like a certain amount of brain power or creative energy, I guess, and I was able to use that spare energy to do other things. But we also wanted to create something that was meaningful and that was impactful and was heavy without any screaming. So it almost kind of added a level of difficulty. But I'm happy because live now, I always felt like my voice was very inconsistent. Like I would scream really, really good one show, and then the next show it was just like it would just sound awful. And I never liked that, and no matter how much I practiced, I always just felt like I was very inconsistent with it. And I didn't want to do it anymore. And then Rocky is actually the one, like, you know, why don't we not do that this time around? And I've been happy not doing it. So, which granted, I love bands that scream, and I love metal just as much as anybody else, but I don't really consider us a metal band. I never considered us a metal band, to be honest. We kind of get lumped into that category. I guess like the Silver Lining, our 2015 album, you could say that was like, you could say that was more of a metal album, because a lot of the songs on there are real heavy, and we had 3 different people screaming on that album. But yeah. Anyway, so this song kind of changed the game for us. Jared Dines from YouTube actually put this song in one of his videos. Like, he had a top 10 female-fronted metal band, unsigned metal band video he put out, and we were like the 3rd band in it. And it was crazy. Tell you a story about that. The video came out on a Sunday, and we had played at this little place in Mississippi the night before. And I usually don't like bad-mouthing people and bad-mouthing venues, but this particular venue, we were playing a show with a lot of bands that we had played with before, and we were playing with Saving Abel. And they wanted us on the show, and they told us they were going to pay us a certain amount, and then they showed us pictures of this stage they were getting. So we get there, and the stage that they had and the PA system they had was nowhere near as big and as good quality as what we had been led to believe. Well, we already had people buy tickets to see us, so we ended up playing the show, and there was like a tornado that came through not too far from the show. And then when it was all said and done, they only paid us like half of what they said they were going to pay us. And we got rained. There was like no place to store gear, so the band was that before us was playing on stage, and we were unloading our gear, getting ready to go on stage, and then it came like a monsoon. So we're outside the trailer. We put everything we could in the trailer, and like Rocky is outside the trailer, and his drums are just getting drenched, and he's just so mad, and I'm like mad with him. I'm like, dude, this is so awful. Like, I can't believe they put us in this situation on top of lying to us or whatever. And like, again, like, I'm not one to badmouth a venue or badmouth anybody that books us at a show, this was just this situation sucked really bad. Well, the next day, Rocky and I pull all the road cases and all the gear out of the trailer because there's mud all in it, and we didn't want mud to be in the wheels of the road cases and everything because we didn't want our wheels to rust, and so we were just like with, you know, a towel and paper towels and cleaner, we were like cleaning all the mud out of our road cases. And then I started getting text messages and messages from people saying, Jared Dines put you in one of his videos. And we're like, oh, okay. So like a really, really shitty experience turned into something, you know, it didn't turn into it, but the Jared Dines video that got posted, that brought a lot of people over to us and put us in front of a whole new audience, and that was freaking awesome. So so yeah, that was really cool. This song kind of, like I said, opened up new doors for us. Like this song, The Ugly Truth and Lying to Yourself, really just kind of opened us up to a new audience, and this was the song that started it all. Like this was the song where we had a handful of songs written, and this was the first one we started pre-production on with Dave, and the rest of the EP. This song kind of set the bar for the Rapture EP, and that's why we named it that, and that's why it was the first single off of it. So yeah, that's kind of the story of Rapture. You got anything to add?
Just every time I go in ZZ's, I just hope I don't disappear.
Yeah, we shot the video.
Legit.
I think Jared or somebody was in here a while ago, but we shot the music video at a local, part of it at a local restaurant here in town, and in the video we made it to be like a Rapture type situation where everybody's eating and then everybody disappears except Allison. So yeah, and then like we had no idea that the next year, you know, there would be a fucking pandemic. We had no idea, and Rocky's like, we kind of called the end of the world happening without even knowing it. So we didn't intend for that to happen, but it was just kind of funny how that happened. So yeah. Does anybody have anything for Allison and I? You guys have any questions? Be more than happy to hang out for a few minutes and kind of chat with everybody. That's Rapture in a nutshell.
I have a tired brain.
Do you?
Yep.
Yeah, I do too.
My body still hasn't adjusted to going back to work.
Yeah.
It just doesn't know what's going on. Pretty much.
We see, yeah.
I can't quit yawning.
We've had a lot more COVID cases, not surprisingly, spring up over in our neck of the woods, and I know Aisha and I know New Zealand's kind of having them as well. I think pretty much everywhere in the world is having, with the new variant and stuff going around. I think everybody's kind of having a hard time with it. So I hope you guys are staying safe. And this is fun for me. So I think I might. Yeah, Mike. Dude, I really enjoy doing it because it's like I said last week. This is the kind of stuff I wish my favorite bands would have done. If my favorite bands would have had a DVD of this, I would have been the first one to buy it when I was growing up. And so I think it's really cool. Kind of you get to hear what each thing's doing in the song, and you kind of get to hear the story behind the song and what the song led to. And this was a very, very, very important song to us as a band, but it's a very special song to me as well. And this was the song. This was one of those songs, like I knew from the get-go this was going to be a cool song. But then when we recorded it and we got the first mix back from the studio, I think everybody was just kind of like, holy crap,
yeah.
this is even better than we thought it was going to be.
Definitely.
Yeah, so we still we open our live show with this song, and I still get pumped every time I play it. I love playing this song, and I always like listening to it. And it's just one of the I'm one of, like, this is top 5 easy, top 5 songs that I'm most proud of writing, and being a part of. And I didn't write it all on my own, obviously. Like, I had, the rest of the guys helping me, but it all kind of started with this riff right here. And I kind of wrote that riff in a way that I had never written riffs before, and it sounds like there's a lot going on in it, but there's really not. It's like mostly the same note over and over again, and there's like some other stuff that's added to it. It's a very simple riff in theory, but to play it live, because it starts it starts down here. And then I can't even play it right here, holding it this way, but I didn't play it right that time, but so, and then you got to slide down here, and live, me playing that live, well, Jed and I both, playing that live without looking down the whole time, it's a lot of muscle memory, and it took me a long time to be able to play it without just looking at it the whole time. And half the time you're on stage and it's dark anyway, and you can't see what the heck you're looking at. So I mean, it doesn't it's like, doesn't even getting in the habit of looking at your fretboard while playing is a bad habit for one. But half the time the stage is so dark you can't see it anyway. So it's like, what's the point? What?
Nothing. Oh.
Yeah. So
You
yeah.
just karate chop me?
No, I cobra jabbed you. Like that right there.
Cobra. You look like a cobra jab.
Yeah, I'll do another one next week if you want, dude. You guys send me a message and tell me what song you want me to do next. I've got stems, like the stems for most of them. So, you guys, if you guys have a song in particular you want me to go over, feel free to send me a message, or Allison or the band, and I will do another one next week. So.
And I'm gonna try to be on more.
Yeah, Allison's.
I've been like super legit exhausted when I come home.
Yeah.
Like,
she's gonna be more on Twitch more lately. We got good internet now. I know you guys are tired of me telling you, but we got good internet. So I've got my camera here, and then I can.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
So I can share my screen. Got my camera here, and then I've got a microphone right here. A good quality microphone picking up everything. So. Yeah, and then Allison's got her gaming rig set up so she can play Warcraft.
I might do some. Well, I got boot camp tomorrow, so if that doesn't kill me,
be fine. It's only for 30 minutes.
Look, 2 people said because I didn't feel good Monday.
Yeah.
It's like 2 people threw up.
Well, fuck them, man. That's what they get. When you start exercising, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm in the best shape out of anybody in the world, but like when I first started, I could go lift weights for like 15-20 minutes and I was done. And now I go for about an hour, but I mean, it took me 3 years to get to where, and and it's like me and you did that boot camp for a few months that one time, and it's like the first month you do it, it sucks. I mean, it absolutely just blows, and then after that, you get your body gets used to that stuff, and so and then it's just and then after a while, it won't be that bad anymore. So it's just something you got to just you got to stay on top of. And I can't preach it enough. Like, there's a fucking pandemic going around, so stay on top of your diet, stay on top of your exercise, and if you get this virus, which most of us probably will, your body will be in better shape to fight it. So hope you guys are staying healthy and staying safe. And Allison will probably be on tomorrow. I'm going to make her promise right now to be on
I will.
tomorrow. Okay.
If they promise to come.
You guys promise to come. She'll stream tomorrow, and I might pop in and say hi. And I'll do another song breakdown next week if you guys want me to. So just send me a message, tell me what you want. But thank you guys for hanging out, and we appreciate it. And this has been fun, and we'll see you tomorrow and next week.